Hi, this is Ricky, MB Ninja from Golf Profits. And just a quick video to go through a few sheets that we've uploaded to our members area recently to help members calculate their stake sizes and to record and log bets to show results, profit and loss, and a few other stats. So having a look at the stake calculator first, as our members know, we advise our bets to 1 point, half a point, quarter point stakes. So a common question is, well, what's my stake size? What should my bet size be for a point, etc. And this calculator is designed to then do all the hard work for you on the calculations. So simply open it up and enter your starting bank in there. So £3,000, £500, £2,000, whatever. Enter that in there. So we'll use £2,000 for example, and then all the calculations are done for you. So on a £2,000 bank, for each way bets at the bookmaker, 1 point is £10 each way, half a point is £5 each way, and a quarter point is £2.50 each way. And then again for the exchanges, what the point values are, half a point and a quarter point values are. I hope that's self-explanatory, but just as always, I'm available in Discord, MB Ninja, if anybody wants to contact me, any questions on this, always available to help and advise where possible. Moving on to the two other sheets, we've got a sheet to log our Bookmaker Each Way bets and to log our exchange bets. So looking at the Bookmaker sheet first, a brief run through. We've got some summary things at the top which are automatically populated. You haven't got to worry about that, don't go touching there, to show you total number of bets placed, total number of winners, how many were placed, what your total stakes were, profit and loss, the win and play strike rate, the return on your investment so far, and the average odds of the bets you've placed so far. Again, should be self-explanatory, but we call it a column that's already populated with the bet number, and then you can fill in the details of the date, tournament, player, bookmaker odds, the bookmaker you placed the bet with, the number of places paid, your each way stake, and the terms. Terms is an important part, so that's the place terms of the bet. So if it's a quarter a place, then it's a 4. If it's a fifth a place, then it's 5. So those not familiar, the each way payout on the each way bets is generally a quarter or a fifth of the odds. So depending on that term, on the place terms of the bookmaker, you would enter a 4 for a quarter, or 5 if they are a fifth of the odds. And then that calculates the place odds for you here. As you can see, we've got one in there, Xander Schauffele, that's 17. And what we'll do, we'll add another one in just to go through how the sheet works. Put the date in again for the Masters. We'll go for Bryson DeChambeau. No idea how accurate these odds are at all, it's purely for demonstration purposes. But Bet365, again 8 places, we're putting £5 each way, and it's the fifth of the odds a place. And then you'll notice that the place odds automatically update there, so that's the place odds that you're getting on your each way bet. So you'll continue to add the selections underneath, and then once the results are known, we've then got 3 columns here, the dead heat column, which I'll come back to shortly. Finishing position, purely for your information purpose, if you want to note where they finished. The main one is the result here. So did the player win? If he did, if he wins outright, you put a W in there. If the player finishes in one of the paid places, then you put a P in that column. And if the player finishes outside the paid places altogether and the bet's totally lost, then it's an L. So just to show you how that works then, so we'll assume Xander Schauffele totally blew it, finished outside the places. So it was a losing bet, so then the sheet updates, shows you that we had a £10 each way bet on Xander. The win part of that bet lost, so he lost £10. The place part of that bet also lost. There's no dead heat adjustments, obviously, because the bet was a loser anyway, so that's never going to happen. So the losing stays at £10 on the place part. So the total loss for that bet is £20, and as it's the first result we've logged, the community of loss is also £20. So then Bryson DeChambeau fares a bit better, finishes in the paid places, so we can put a P in there. And then again, just to show it updates, we had a £5 each way bet there, and win part of that bet was a loser because he didn't win it, but he finished in the paid places. but our place part of the bet won, giving us a profit there of £50. We're assuming now that there was no dead heat adjustments, so the total place win was still £50. So our overall profit and loss for that bet was £50 on the place minus the £5 off the win bet, total profit of £45, which brings us to a total profit of £25 now cumulatively without taking into account the £20 loss on Xander. Taking a look at the top, we can see we've logged 2 bets so far. We've had no winners, we've had a loser and a place. So we had one placed selection there. We placed £30 total in stakes, so £10 each way is £20, £5 each way is £10, so the total there is £30. Profit and loss so far, which matches up with the cumulative profit and loss here of £25. The win and play strike rate is 50% because we've had one lose, one finish in the place. A return on investment of 83%, so £30 total cost for a £25 profit, and the average odds of 34 on the bets that we've placed so far. Moving on to touching on the dead heat column, for those not familiar on what a dead heat is, it's very familiar in golf where players end their rounds on the same score as others. If this happens when they're tying for the lead, then there'll be a playoff to determine the outright winner. But on all other places, they'll tie for that place. So, for argument's sake, we've got Bryson DeChambeau here, who finished 8th, say, but there was one other person who finished 8th with him. So, in a sense, they're the 8th and the 9th placed players, but tied 8th. Then will be a deduction within the place payouts purely because there's only bookmakers only paying 8 and there's 2 players finishing there, so because of that you would only get half of your odds. There's one placed payout, 8th, left, and there's 2 players in that placed payout situation, so 1 in 2, so then your payout for the placed part of that bet is going to get reduced by 50%. So we can type that value of half into the dead heat column, and then that makes the necessary adjustment in the dead heat adjustment column to reduce your profit on the place part of that bet by the percentage that you've allocated, you've added in there. So we can now see that we were expecting 50. It was a dead heat with another player on the 8th, which was the final position. So we only made a profit of £25 on the place part minus the 5 off the win, giving us a profit of £20 on that bet overall. If anyone's not confident enough or a bit unsure still on that dead heat calculation and what to enter, then please just drop me a message on Discord. I'm more than happy to go through it with you and get things cleared up. Moving on to the exchange part of the sheet, or the exchange sheet, the exchange log. It's very similar to what we've just looked at, although those familiar with our selections, we only advise win only on the exchange, so there's no place columns, no dead heat columns to worry about here. Otherwise it's pretty similar. We add our selections on, and if you want to note the finishing position you can do so there, and it's just a case then of entering a W in the result column if the player won outright, or an L if he didn't. So just to show you the sheet's working, entering an L then gives us a £10 loss. Our stake, we've lost our stake because he didn't win the tournament, and again the information at the top is updating as we would expect, and just if he won, we overtop that, give it a W, and we made £160 on that bet. £10 stake with exchange odds of 17, so that gives us a profit of 160. Cumulative profit was the only bet we placed or logged so far of 160, and again likewise all the stats at the top are updated accordingly. I hope that helps, a brief run through of the sheets, but as again just to reiterate, if anybody does have any questions or any about the sheets or about any part of the service, I'm available most of the time via Discord. MB Ninja, drop me a message or tag me in the member chat, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.